Hello and welcome to our My Auto Tracker full plan demo. Right off the bat, you're at our main home dashboard here, with each one of these gray rectangular boxes representing a customer and their vehicle. You can see the customer's name in the top left here, the make and model of the customer's vehicle below that, the color and year of the vehicle below that, and then finally the customer's phone number here in the bottom left. In the center here, this is going to be the current status of that customer's vehicle, with the status's change date and time here to the bottom right. These three buttons here on the far right are going to be what drives the functionality for this screen, with status history being a history of all the status changes that have occurred so far for a customer and their vehicle. And it's really just a smaller version of the customer vehicle status history report that we'll see at the end. The customer info button is just a quick way for you to change any information for a customer on the fly, whether that be them wanting to use a different email address with you, a different phone number, or maybe perhaps deciding to use phone text alerts later on after initially deciding not to. The change status button is really what's going to drive this screen. Aside from the fact that My Auto Tracker is going to be beneficial and just simply being something that customers are really going to appreciate in knowing more about what's going on with their vehicle, it's also going to be really good for you in saving you time, and time that would otherwise be spent talking on the phone. You can quickly make 5 to 10 second status changes here. With these status changes to the far left, these are going to be the My Auto Tracker preset statuses. And these are statuses that are preloaded by My Auto Tracker for you to decide to either use or not use at your own discretion. And when I show you the vehicle statuses screen here in a second, you can see how you can either decide to use those statuses and have them show up on the screen or not use them. The custom statuses are going to appear exactly the same as the My Auto Tracker preset ones, but these are loaded and created by yourself. And you can decide to create these or not create these. To the far left here, we are going to have quick written statuses. And these are statuses for just really specific instances with customers where, for whatever reason, the My Auto Tracker preset statuses and the custom statuses that you've preloaded just do not cover whatever is currently going on with their vehicle. And to kind of reiterate how quick this is, again, you basically come in, you identify the customer, you click Change Status, and you go to the current status that needs to be set to, and then you click Change Status, and in not more than 5 seconds, you've updated their vehicle. In terms of adding a new vehicle, it's important to note that the only fields that are actually going to be required are going to be email, and then phone and cell carrier, with phone and cell carrier only being required if a customer decides that they actually do want phone and text alerts. The customer has 3 options in terms of the alerts themselves, with either having no alerts, important alerts only, and those are going to be alerts that warrant an action by the customer. So certainly if it's time for the customer to pick up their vehicle, or if the customer needs to actually call your shop to discuss something, that would be an important alert. And then finally, all alerts would just be an update for every single status change that occurs at your shop. If they do decide to receive some form of an alert, either important or all alerts, they can decide between receiving emails, phone text messages, or email and phone alerts. Lastly, if it's a returning customer that's been to your shop before, you always have the option to search for them by first name, last name, phone number, or email address, and then rather than having to manually type out the information, you can just quickly search for it there, and then everything will already be loaded, and you'll obviously want to check to make sure that they're still using the same phone number, cell carrier, and it's the same vehicle, but assuming it is, you won't have to fill anything out, and then you can just quickly add them. And moving right along to the users portion of the application, there are 3 types of internal users for your shop. There's what we refer to as a master admin, and they're going to have access to everything we saw there at that home dashboard, in addition to these additional management screens here, like the Manage User screen and the Vehicle Statuses screen. The second type of user is going to be called an All Cars admin, and they're going to have access to everything you saw at that first initial screen. However, they're not going to have access to any of these management screens here, with the exception of just being able to log out, but they won't be able to update other users or vehicle statuses. And then finally, we have what's referred to as a specific cars admin, and these are going to be theoretically lower level employees at your shop, who can get into the main home dashboard to update vehicles, but they can only update specific cars at a certain time. So if it's someone who's only working on one or two vehicles, you can come in here and then you can assign those vehicles to them, and when they log in, those will be the only vehicles that they see on the screen. I'm moving along to the vehicle statuses screen. This is pretty straightforward. At the top here, we have the My Auto Tracker preset statuses that we discussed earlier at the home dashboard. And again, you just come here, and if it's something you find useful, that you think would be a status you would update relatively frequently, you would just select it to show up. If it's something that you don't see as useful, then you can just always deselect it and it won't show up on your home screen. Moving down to the bottom here, and these are going to be the custom statuses that we discussed earlier that that you can create yourself. To do that, you just click here. You come up with a status name and a status description, as well as if it's an important status or if it's going to be an initial status. And with an initial status would just be the automatic first status that a customer gets when they first put your vehicle in the shop. And then you add it there, and then it will show up. And with these, again, you can decide if they will show up or not show up, and you can always modify them here. And then finally, if it's something that initially you thought you would use and it turns out you won't be needing at all, you can always just delete it here and it will no longer show up. Moving along finally to the shop information. This is going to be just basically the general information for your shop. Your shop name, your phone number, your address, city, state, and zip code. As well as an image, with the image being optional, and really all of this being optional. Where all of this information is going to be important is going to be in the customer's vehicle status history report. So if you move that to that here, in addition to showing the statuses down here, it also shows the image with the name of your shop, the address, and the shop's phone number. Now, if you decide not to use an image, that's absolutely fine. The statuses will just appear higher up here, and the name, address, and phone number for your shop will slide over here to the left. Well, with that being said, that concludes our brief demo here, and we would love to hear from you to either get an in-person demo or to sign up to My Auto Tracker. Thanks.